In this online class, we are going to discuss a looping statement. So, in yesterday's class, offline class, we have discussed about like how we can code with while loop. Okay, so in this online class, we are going to discuss for loop. Okay, so let me give an introduction, short introduction for this looping statement. Okay, as you are seeing this slide, we can use two different type of looping statements in Python. Okay, first one is while loop and second one is for loop. Fine. So okay. So what is this looping statement? Why we need this looping statement? Okay. So if you want to execute a set of instructions or block of code for certain number of times, okay, then you can go for using this looping statement. Okay. So there are two primitive loop comments that you can use it in Python. So what are they? As you are seeing this slide, first one is while loop and second one is for loop. Okay, so before going to explain each looping statement, you should know the structure of each looping statement. Okay, so after knowing the syntax, only you can code, you can write
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್
it.
ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್.
Why is not clear? I actually don't know whether it is breaking, something is breaking my noise or my voice itself is not audible. Yes, my voice is itself is not audible or if something is breaking since uh, today the net connection is not good, I think so. So that's why the sound is not clear, I think so. Now it is okay. Now it is okay for you to hear. Yes,
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್.
you are hearing the background noise. I don't know why you are hearing the background noise because it is very silent here.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮಗ ವಯಸ್ಸೇ ಕೇಳ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ ಬಾಸ್.
Inama, it's echoing. My voice itself is echoing. Yes.
No, ma'am, it's not echoing, ma'am.
Ah,
Just breaking, ma'am.
just the background sound. Okay. Okay. So I don't know why the background sound is also hearing, but then I'll try my level best to take this class well. Okay. Fine. So I have to reduce my volume so that that's probably that you cannot hear that. Okay, background sound. Fine. So in this class, as I told you, we are going to discuss looping statement. Okay, as already we have discussed the first type in looping statement, while loop in the class. Now we are going to see how we can like write a looping statement but for loop. Fine. So what is before going to explain each looping statement, you should know why we need this looping statement. So in the previous classes, we have discussed about different types of conditional statement. Why this conditional statement is used for, which is used to execute certain instructions or certain block of code with conditions. Okay, so that's why we are using this conditional statement. And what about this looping statement? If you want to execute a set of instructions or a block of code for repeatedly, okay, iteratively for certain number of times, then we can use this looping statement. Okay, so there are, as I told you, okay, most probably we need to consider three main things when we write with the looping statement, with the looping conditions. Okay, so the first one is initialization, and second one is condition checking, and third one is increment or decrement. Okay, as we have already discussed this while loop. Um, yes. So this the syntax is the syntax or the structure of while loop is the first thing you need to mention the initialization. Okay, you need to mention the starting value, fine. And after initializing a value, okay, the starting value, we need to declare the condition, okay, inside the while loop, and the condition has to be followed after the while loop. So while as you are seeing in this example, okay, so the initial what is it? Here they have written a code to print the value from 1 to, okay, to print the value from 1 to 5. Okay, so what is the initial value? What is the starting value? That is 1, and what is the final value? 5. Right? So based on the starting value, the initialization has to be done. So I have initialized the starting value for I as 1. and inside the while loop I have given the final condition, okay, the final value. So the condition has to be always based on the final value. See, inside the while loop, I'm just printing the value of 5. Um, After printing the value of 5, I'm just incrementing the value, the variable I. Right? So three things has to be considered. The first one is initialization, and second one is condition, and third one is increment or decrement. Right? So this is a very same example that we have discussed in the offline class. Right. So let me move on to how to use break and continue statement in the looping. Okay. So what's the use of this break statement? If you want to come out of the loop, if you want to move, or if you want to um, make the compiler to move from one position to another position, then you can use this break statement. What is main purpose of break statement is helps to exit the loop. Okay, which helps to come out of the loop. Right? So if you are using break statement inside this while loop, okay, the loop will be breaked when, okay, this loop will break when the condition, okay, when this condition is satisfied and the I value becomes 3, okay, it will break this while loop. Right? It will end this value. It will exit this loop. Right? This is the use of this break statement. And what about this continue statement? Continue statement, the difference between break is it will completely break the iteration. So it will completely break the loop. And what about this continue statement? It will skip the current iteration, whereas it will move on to execute the remaining iteration. Okay, if you are executing the looping statement and continue is somewhere executed in the middle of your iteration, what it will do? It will skip the current iteration and move on to execute the remaining iteration. So that's the difference between continue and break. It's very important. So normally we'll be using this break and continue whenever you want to skip or whenever you want to break any kind of loop, then you have to use this break and continue statement. Okay. In another one concept, break statement is normally, okay, break statement is used in switch case also. Okay, hope you have listened to the topic switch case, where we'll be using this break statement inside the switch case. Fine. So this is just a simple intro about what we have discussed in the last class. Fine. So let me move on how we can use this for statement. As I told you, looping statement which is used to execute a block of code repeatedly for a certain number of times. There are different types of looping statements that we can use in Python. So one among us while and for. Okay, so now we are going to see the syntax for statement. Right? So as we are seeing this slide, and this for loop can be used even for list, tuple, dictionary set, and even for string. We are going to discuss all these things in the next module. Okay, so this list, tuple, set, string, and dictionary will be discussed for module 2. Now we are going to uh, okay. Now anyway, okay, we need to know how to use this for loop in list, tuple, set, and string. Okay, so let me give you a simple introduction about this list. List is nothing but a kind of, okay, kind of, for example, like arrays. Okay, what is the array? It is used to store similar data items. Okay, whereas a list, tuple, set, and dictionary, okay, we can store a collection of data items in a single variable. Okay, so here they have given a list. This is the example for list. This is the example for list of how the items will be assigned to a variable. So fruit is a list which is having values apple, banana. If you are mentioning a string value or even a character value, okay, that value should be enclosed with single quotes or double quotes. Right? So here we have values, three different values, apple, banana, and cherry, that is assigned to the variable fruits. Okay, so since it is a string value, okay, the values are enclosed with double quotes. Okay, and since three data items are assigned to the variable, fruit, okay, to the variable list fruit. Okay, so if you want to this, okay, if you want to print banana, okay, if that is the value, that is the item of fruit. Okay, so it will be assigned at the index fruit of 1. Okay, so what is this root of 1? Okay, so all the values, all the values in a list will be indexed with, okay, will be indexed with the index number. Okay, so if you want to refer any items of a list, okay, it can be referred with the index number. So as like arrays, it is just like arrays. Okay, all the values of arrays is assigned with the index number. Okay, and the index number starts with 0. When you take fruits of 0, it will have the first value of either list or tuple or set. Okay? If you take fruit of 1, it will give you the next second data item. Okay, so this how the values will be assigned and indexed to a variable. Okay, so now we are going to print. Okay, normally if you want to print only one value, it's very easy. Okay, a equal to 5, print of a will give you the value of a. But then if a is having multiple values, say for example, if a is an array, or if a is a tuple or set, or even even dictionary, okay, it has to be displayed, it has to be printed with for loop statement. Fine. So here we have a list fruit equal to apple, comma, banana and cherry. Now I am going to print this list with for loop. Okay, let's see how we can print it. For x in fruits. Okay, in Python there's no need for variable declaration. Directly you can assign and directly you can use the variables. Okay, whereas in C and C++ Java we need to declare the array. Okay, before you use the variables, it has to be declared first. Right? So, but in Python there is no need for there is no need for variable declaration. Fine. Here we have a variable, a list variable with values apple, banana, and cherry. Now I am going to print all the values with um, for loop. Okay. So see here for x in fruits. Okay. So for the first iteration, this x value, it will take the first value of the list. What is the first value in the list variable fruit? Apple. So for the first iteration, okay, for the first iteration, it will take the value apple. Okay, it will take the value apple. Okay, and print it. Okay, what's the block of code that is given inside the for loop? Okay, print x. So it will take the first value of the list and print it here. So the what is the first value? Apple. So this apple will be assigned to this variable x, and what's the code that is written here? Print of x. It will print that x value. What's the first value? Apple. So it will print apple first, followed by banana and cherry. So this how the values will be displayed with following. Okay. So let me give you a simple example before explaining it with the before explaining it with the list tuples at dictionary. I'll give you a simple example where we have already discussed it while. Okay. So in case if you want to display values, so integer values from 1 to 5 or 1 to 100 or even 1 to 1000. Okay, so just like how we have used to print it with while loop. Okay, so what's the main three conditions that we need to know before writing code with looping statement? Okay, you know, first one is initialization, and second one is conditioning, and third one is increment or decrement. Okay, so just like for loop, you can also use just like while loop, you can also use for loop to print the values. Okay, iteratively or repeatedly. Right. So here there is a function available in Python, range of, which helpful to print the value from the starting to the ending. Okay, let me show you how we can use this range of function inside the for loop to print the values from the starting value to the ending value. Okay, so in three ways we can use this range of function. So range of is a function, a built-in function which is provided by Python to print the values using for loop. So what is this range of 6? Okay, either you can use range of find. So this is the first way of using range of method. Okay, the first method is either you can declare only the final value. See, I need to print the value from 2 to, okay, I need to print the value from say for example 0. Okay, I need to print the value from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, always it won't take the final value, always it will be printed n minus 1. What is n minus 1? If the final value is 6, 6 minus 1, 5. So it will print the value up to 5. Okay, so now I want to print the value from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so if you are using the first method, what's the first method? Range of 6. 6 is nothing but the final value. The final value. Okay, so the ending value. if you are using the first way of using the range of function, we need to declare only the final value, the ending value. Okay, so for x in range of 6, so this is the final value, and consider the x value is initial value is 0. So what it will do, x, okay, for x in range of 6, so it will, okay, up to 6, okay, up to 6, from 0 to 6 it will print the value of x. So for the first iteration x value will be 0, and for the second iteration, this is the second iteration value, that is 1. For the third iteration it is 2, for the fourth iteration it is 3, for the fifth iteration it is 4, for the sixth iteration it is. So this how the values will be printed for this code. Okay, this is the output. For this code, this is the output. Okay, whereas see here the second way of, okay, now we are going to see the other way of using range of function. Okay, so in the first case we are just declaring only the final value, whereas in the second case, see, we have starting value and final value. Okay, starting value and condition checking value. See here, for x in range of 2 comma 6, print of x. So this 2 is nothing but the starting value. So in the previous case we have not given any initial value. Okay, but in the second case of using this range of function, we can also declare the starting value. So the second way of using range of function is, this one is starting value and this one is ending value. Always the end value works with n minus 1. N minus 1 means 5. If it is 7, then 6. If it is 10, it is 9. Okay, so it will take from the starting value 2 to 5. So this is the output. This black screen is the output for this code. Since the initial value is 2, this one is final value. So 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so the third way of using range of function is, we can also give the increment or decrement value. Okay, see here, for x in range of 2 comma 33, what is this 2? Nothing but the starting value. What is this 2? Starting value. And what is this 30? Ending value. Okay, ending value. And what about this 3? This is increment or decrement value. Fine. So in 3 ways we can use this range of function in forward. The first one is giving only the final value. Then the second one is giving both starting and ending value. Third one is giving 3 values, three criteria. What are the 3 criteria that we can give in the third method? First one is starting value, ending value, and increment or decrement value. So this how we can use this range of function to print the values from the starting to ending, from the starting value to the ending value. Okay, so let me open the Calab is open for you. This is, hope you can see this. Okay, so it is actually directed to Calab. That if you have connected to Kernel Wi-Fi, you can always use this Calab.kernel.edu to run your Python programs. Okay, if it is not open, if you have any network issues when you open this Calab.kernel.edu, you can also open Colab. Okay, so normally we'll be using the Colab to execute all our projects. Okay, so better you can use. So these are all the things that we have discussed in the earlier classes. Okay, identity operator and membership operator. So let me, okay, so if you are using for loop, okay, for, okay, I in range of, I'm going to print a value from, say for example, 0 to 10, okay, or 1 to 100. Okay, I'm going to print a value from 1 to 100. So since I'm going to print the value from 1 to 100, I am using this range of function to print it. Okay, so print of, okay, let me maximize it so that you can view it very well. So print of, I'm just printing the value of I. Okay, if you want to print it along with any other statement, you can also do it with double quotes. Okay, the value is, so, and we provide the value. I is equal to, I am going to print the value from 1 to, okay, since don't mention this one. See here what I have given. I have initialized to the value, final value is given, final condition is given. Okay, if there is no increment. Okay, here I have not given any increment value. By default it will take the increment value as 1. Okay, if you want to mention the increment value also in your range of function, then you're supposed to use the third method. Okay, what's the third method? What's the third method that we have seen? This is the third method. If you want to mention the increment value in your range of function, then you're supposed to use, if you want to mention the increment value in your for loop, then you are supposed to use the third method. If there is no need to mention the increment value, by default it will take the 1 as a increment. Okay, so okay, see, now I have initialized the value of I equal to 1, and then what I have included for I in range of 100. So it will print the value from 1 to 100, implementing each iteration with 1. Okay, so let me give you the second method. What's the second method? What's the second method that we have discussed? In the first method, I have given only the final value. Okay, if you want to, in case if you want to, okay, if you want to give the starting and ending value, okay, how you can do it? For I in range of, okay, 1 comma 100. Okay, either you can initialize the value outside of for loop or else inside the for loop. Okay, in two ways you can use the range of function in for loop. Okay, print of, I'm just giving only print of I. Okay, print of I. Okay, see, it will print the value from 1 to, I'm scrolling down, from 1 to 99. Why it's not printing 100? Because it's always print up to n minus 1, final value minus 1. Okay, so this is the way of using the second method in range of function. That is, yeah, second method. Okay, what's the third method? What's the third method? Okay, declaring all the three things: initialization, final value, that is condition checking, as well as the increment value. By default, it will take the increment value as 1. If you want to mention the increment value, say for example 2, 3 or 4, you're supposed to use the third method. Okay, for I in range of 1 comma, I'm going to print with increment of 2. Okay, print 2 and the print of I. Okay, now see, now it will print, okay, increment of 2. Okay, if you want to, okay, 2 4 6, okay, it will print all the divisibles of 2. Since I'm incrementing the iterations for each time is 2. Okay, I'm incrementing 2 for each iteration. Okay, it's not 1, the increment value is 2. For each time I'm incrementing the I value as 2. Okay, since I'm incrementing 2, it's displaying all the values that is divisible by 2. Okay, and what is the condition for while loops? In case, okay, in case if you are using while loop, the initialization is, okay, I'm going to print the same value from 1 to 100 with while. So how you can, the initialization is must first, and then while I less than 5, okay, I less than 101, then print of I, then I plus equal to 1. All the three things, three criteria that you have to give inside the while. First one is initialization, and then condition checking, and then increment. Okay, let me execute this code. Okay, now see, it also will print the value from 1 to 100. Okay, so I hope you understand how we can use this looping statement. Okay, if you want to use the looping statement with for loop, there is no need to use any built-in function. Directly you can use initialization. Directly you can write the initialization followed by the condition and increment and decrement. Whereas in for loop, you can use it in multiple ways with range of function. So what is the range of function for? There are in three ways we can use this range of function inside the for loop. So the first way is range of final value. Okay, giving only the final value. If the final value, if you have given only the final value, it will by default it will take the increment value as 1, right? And what about the second method? Giving both starting and ending value. And what about the third method? Giving starting, ending, the condition value as well as the increment or decrement. So this now we can use this for loop. Okay, this now we can use this range of function in for loop. Okay, let me now we'll see how we can use this for loop with printing the data items of list tuple and set. Okay, you see here we have a set of items in list. Fruit is a list and it's having the data items apple, banana and cherry. Now I'm going to print all the values of list. Okay, if you want to print only one value, you can just give print of here. In case if you want to print multiple values of a variable, so you can use a for loop. Right? And for x and fruit, so it will, for each iteration it will take one value from the list. Okay, so for the first time it will take the first value. What is the first value with index number 0? As I told you, it's just like arrays, how the arrays will be storing the items in it. Okay, based on the index value. The index value of array starts with 0. So if array variable name is a, say for example a of 0 will have a first item value. Okay, a of 0 will have the first value. A of 1 will have the next value. A of 2 will have the next, second, third item. Okay, so similarly, all the, just like arrays, if you want to print the data item for a list, tuple, set, a dictionary, you're supposed to use for loop. Okay, so for x in fruits, colon, print of x, it will, for each iteration, it will print each value till the last, okay, till the last item. After the last item, it will exit the loop. Okay, so let me run this code for you. Okay, let me run this code for you. I am going to give a variable for list. I am going to still say, for example, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have given a integer list. What is the integer list? A list which is having a numeric values, numeric data items. Now I'm going to print all these values with for loop. Okay, so for I in x, for I in x colon print of I. For each iteration, the I has to take one value from x and print it. For each iteration, I has to take one value from x, okay, and print it. So how long it will execute? It will execute till the last data item. What's the last data item of this list x? That is 7. So it will execute till 7. Okay, it will execute till the last item. After the last item, the for loop will exit. The for loop will start execute the iterations. Okay, so let me execute this code. Okay, see here, for I in x, so what's the ix? X is a list which is having a numeric values, numeric data items. A 7 values are assigned to this list variable x. For each iteration, this I will take one value from x. Okay, so for the first iteration, what is the I value? 1. For the second iteration, what is the I value? 2. For the third iteration, what is the I value? 3. So for each iteration, it will take the value of x, okay, and print it. Okay, so it will print up to 1 to 7. Right? So this is how we can use for loop even for displaying the list tuple set and dictionary values. Okay. See guys, I'm hearing some noise. Kindly mute your audio. Yes. So if you have any doubt, I will clarify all your doubts in offline class. Okay. Since my audio is not clear, I don't know whether it is because of network issues or because of my headset. Okay, we'll change both in the next class because I have not used this headset and my system for the past 15 days. So that might be the problem for creating a noise like this. Okay. Well, anyway, if you have any doubt, we'll discuss in the offline class. So let me move on to explain the remaining things in the PPT. Okay, so the next thing, see, we can also use what is this in operator? Okay, you know what is in operator? Membership operator, identity operator. We have discussed membership operator and identity operator in class. Okay, guys, kindly go to the GCR. I have uploaded all the PPTs in our GCR. Okay, so what is in? We are checking whether this banana is for X in banana. Okay, so okay, we can instead of displaying the data items of a list, okay, we can also display as string values with the help of this for loop. Okay, let's see how we can do it. For x in banana, banana is a string and I'm going to take each character from this banana and assign it to the variable x in each iteration and display it. What's the first character in banana? B. Okay, what's the first character in banana? B. So for the first iteration, we'll take the character B, assigned it to variable x and print it. So you can also print string values with for loop. Okay, You can also print, see, if you have given x equal to banana and print x, it will also display banana. But sometimes if you want to take each character from banana, B-A-N-A-N-A, okay? If you want to take each character from banana, you can also do it with for loop. So let me execute this code for you here. For, okay, x in, I'll give my name, Jennifer. Okay, I'll give my name. And then, yeah, I forgot to use this code. Print. So for each iteration, it will take one value from that string and print it. Okay. So let me run this code for you. See here, for each iteration, it is taking one value. Okay. We can also do some like, okay, let me write for x in Jennifer. For x in Jennifer is, okay, when x is having the character 10, print third letter. Okay, just printing third letter. Okay, when it execute the letter n, I'm just printing it, it's executing, otherwise it's okay, else print. Okay, this means for else print. Okay, then just, okay, when the x value, okay, is assigned with n, I'm just printing it, it is the third letter. It is the third letter of my name. Okay, so let me execute. See, third letter. Okay, when it execute third, okay, let me give a continue. Okay, so that's it. Okay. See, when it execute third letter n, okay, I'm giving okay, when it execute n, when it, okay, for the first iteration it will take j, for the second iteration it will take e. See, for the third iteration, when it tries to take n, I'm having if condition. So this x value will be checked with this assigned value n. Okay, both are equal when it execute for third iteration. Okay, at the third iteration, x value is n, and I'm having a if condition checking with this value n. Okay, so n is equal to n, condition is true. So it will print third letter. Since I'm using continue, okay, it is not taking this printed statement. What this continue will do, it skips the current iteration and move on to execute the remaining iterations. Okay, the rest of the extension, the rest of the iterations will be executed by skipping the current iteration. So it will not print x. It will, after seeing the keyword continue, it will move on to execute the, it will move on to execute the next iteration. And so that's why I'm getting third letter for n. Okay, if printfx is executing, then I'll have that n. I'll get n in the output. Okay, since I'm using continue, it skips the current iteration. Okay? So you can also check, you can also print the characters of a string with this for loop. Okay, and x equal to, we can also, as we have already seen, break and continue statement. Okay, here fruit is the list which is having values apple, banana and cherry, and for each iteration I'm taking one value from the list fruit and print it, and also I'm checking a condition when x equal to banana break. Okay, so after, when the x value is banana, it will break this for loop. Okay, we are going to see some other example with like okay, with this use of break statement and for loop. Okay, let me give x equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7, and I'm going to check when the iteration is having the value 4, it should break the loop. Okay, so we are going to write a code for I in x. I'm just taking the value of x in the variable I, and I'm just printing it first, printing it. Okay, printing it, and okay, and now I'm going to check a condition for if I equal to 5. When the I value is 5, okay, okay, I'm just going to reach fifth value. Okay, and I'm just giving it So what I have given, I have assigned the values to a list x. Okay, for each, and I'm just including this x. I'm just putting this x inside a loop. Okay, so getting each value in the variable I and print it. When the value is I, when the I value becomes 5, when I value is 5, then okay, and this condition will be true. This condition will be true, and what it will do, reach the fifth value, and it will break this for loop. Okay, let me execute. See, see, reach the fifth value, the sixth value, 6 and 7 values are not printed. Why? Because we have used the break statement, so it will not do the remaining iterations. If you want to do the remaining iterations, do continue. Okay, so see, we have let me minimize it. See, we have a list x equal to this value. Okay, x equal to, well, it's doing this, yeah. We have the list x equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. So these are the values that I have assigned to the list. Fine. Now for each iteration, I'm taking the value of x to I. Okay, so what is the first value? What's the first value for I in the first iteration? That is 1. I'm just printing the value, print 1. I'm checking the I value with 5, whether I value equal to 5. For the first iteration, the I value is 1. The condition is false, so it will not execute the block of code that is written inside the if loop. Okay, and for the second iteration, automatically it will do the increment. There is no need to mention the increment value uh, for for this loop. If you want to mention the increment value uh, other than the increment value of 1, then you're supposed to use the range of function. Okay, so range of function, which is nothing but, what's the use of this range of function? Range of function which you can mention the initial value, final value, as well as the increment or decrement value. Okay, see here, for I in x, print of I, and for each iteration I am checking whether the I value is 5. When the I value becomes 5, we need to print a statement reach the fifth value. So I'm just exiting the loop. So this will exit the loop when you are using break. So instead of break, if you are using continue, see how it will work. I'm just see. Yeah. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 is printed, but the fifth value is not printed. It's only printing reach the fifth value. Okay, after executing the continue, it will move on to execute the remaining iterations. It will not print at the fifth iteration. It will not print I value. So that's why we are not getting the fifth file. We are not getting the phi in the output. Okay, if it is break, it will break the loop. It will exit this for loop. But then if it is continue, what it will do, it will, okay, after the statement that is written after continue won't be, okay, will not be executed. That is skipping the current iteration and move on to execute the next iterations. Okay, so I equal to 5, it reaches the fifth value, continue. After executing the statement continue, it will move on to the next iteration. What's the next iteration? Sixth, getting the sixth value from x and assigning it to the variable I. Fine, so that's why when you see the output, that's why 5 is not printed here. So this is the difference between break and continue. Okay, break and continue statement. So this is how we can use break and continue statement inside the while loop and for loop. Okay, so you kindly use the klab.kernel.ud for executing all your